Hello, welcome to the art channel with no direction. It's been a while. So today it's gonna be more of a chill video. I'll be giving my art hot takes. Doodle session in the background with no set goal in mind really, so it's going to be a very rough drawing. And if you want, you can also share your own personal hot takes. Just keep it respectful and civil, okay? Just an announcement before I start. The channel's anniversary is coming up soon in November, but I'm going to bump an event up a month early. Some of you watching may want to start a YouTube channel. Don't worry, I'm not selling you a course, I'm not qualified for that, but some of you might be a little unsure about posting a video on YouTube or think it's cringe or think your voice is embarrassing or whatever. But just like art, we all start somewhere, right? So on October 10, I'm going to unprivate the very first video I took seriously on this platform. It was meant for Halloween last year, but it ended up being uploaded on November 10. I'll admit, it is very embarrassing and it is pretty cringe, but if it gives any of you who want to start a channel some sort of assurance, it'll be there. It's also going to reveal where I'm from. It'll stay up for like, I don't know, a day or two, maybe a week. We'll see. Honestly, I didn't think the channel will get this far. Never imagined 1K either. It's not a lot, but you know, nonetheless, thank you for sticking around. And if you do start a channel, good luck. Anyway, first hot take, let people draw whatever the fuck they want, okay? Sometimes when I'm scrolling through the comment section of an artist, especially, you know, a big artist on Instagram or on Twitter, sorry, X, I would see comments saying, "Oh, you always draw this, why don't you draw that for a change?" Look, leave it alone, okay? Whatever an artist wants to draw, whatever they choose to upload, it's not for you to decide. You can make the argument that, we're the audience, that artist needs to draw what we want to see. No, they don't. Okay, well, actually, to an extent, I do agree, but there needs to be a bit of a balance between what the audience wants to see and what the artist wants to do. But when you're always drawing what the audience wants and never upload anything that you yourself want to upload, it's going to start feeling like, I'm not sure how to put this, it's going to start feeling like you are losing yourself, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that gets the point across. Especially more so when the artist is trying to get big on Instagram, which isn't that great of a platform for artists nowadays, but this is where the algorithm comes in. I think it's a bit of a well-known fact that certain types of drawings do the best on the platform, which is drawings of girls. Now, in order to actually get attention from the Instagram algorithm, you need to be posting consistently. Nowadays, it's a combination of reels and posts, and as an artist, it's going to get exhausting trying to juggle between what you want, what the audience loves, and what the algorithm needs. Granted, I don't have a large audience, okay, which is a blessing in itself, and I just upload whatever I want whenever I want. I gave up on Instagram a long time ago and only ever draw for myself now. Occasionally though, I'll put my drawing process as a background video if I remember to record it. But what does that all have to do with letting people draw what they want? Again, balance. If the artist has found that perfect balance between what they want, what their audience wants, and what the platform they're on needs, that balance must not be disrupted, unless they ask for it specifically, which is why I believe in letting artists draw whatever they want as long as it's not harming anyone. Obviously what I'm saying here is only applicable to those who share their work online, but if you are an artist who only draws for themselves and don't share anything, go ahead, draw whatever you want, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Second hot take, tracing. I know this has been beaten to death, but I'm still gonna give my take on it, okay? Tracing isn't inherently bad, but it can be used in a bad way. For example, tracing over someone else's art and then passing it off as your own. Tracing to study, however, is a different story. Let's say, for example, you want to draw a hand. Now, you can take a reference by either browsing the internet or taking a picture of your own hand and draw what you see. And unless you spawned into the world insanely gifted, those first few tries are probably going to look a little jank, right? And then you get that feeling that you want to trace over your reference, but you've heard some fellow artists say, "No, don't trace it, it's bad, don't do it or else you're not an artist." And now that brain of yours is also saying, don't do it, otherwise you're not an artist. Literally, that's not the case. In fact, you'll find people who are in a position to teach actually recommend tracing. An example I will always use is Mark Brene, who runs the channel YouTube Art School. His videos about learning how to draw anatomy in 7 days is one that encourages the use of tracing. Trace over specific body parts to help you understand how that part can be broken down. That way, not only will you build muscle memory for that part, it will also help you with speed as well. You're also going to build that mental library to be able to draw things from imagination imagination, as Mark Burnett always emphasizes. And chasing can be applied to other things as well, like, objects, animals, nature. It's a very useful way of learning, and cutting yourself off from that one path is only going to limit your progress. And finally, hot take number 3. Ego. I don't know if it's just me, but there's a lot of ego in the art community. Oddly enough though, I don't see it too much with the big artists. They seem to be the most respectful so far. Granted, I only go to the comment section of artists I follow on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. But in the comment section, there are a handful of comments going, this guy only draws girls, I draw men and women, this person's never gonna improve, or I'm a much better artist, while they're stuck in a rut forever. Especially the larger ones, like the larger artists. I mean, you'll see comments like, this artist only draws the same thing, I don't see any improvements, I can draw better than them, or my art is better than this, but they get all the attention. The ones I fucking hate the most though are the ones that go, as an artist, I can see that this aspect of your art is poor, this is what you should do. The actualities of the art community. The people who give you advice when it's unwarranted and not asked for, as if they know better than you and have the authority to lord over your artwork as if you are a mere art peasant. Granted, that person giving you that unwarranted advice would, could very well be much more knowledgeable than you. But there is a time and place for everything. Like, bruh, fuck off. If someone wants critique, and I'm gonna keep saying this, they'll fucking ask for it. The sad and maybe a little funny part is that ego also ends up being their downfall. I've seen artists on social media thinking that getting attention is easy. Post a pretty piece of art, engagement and followers will come. Participate in follow for follows, only to find out that people only do that to boost numbers in a not so genuine way. Obviously, results vary with that route, but for the most part, that's how I sort of view it. But anyway, back to the expectations, I think that's really what a lot of people are a little naive about. Getting follows equals getting more engagement, which equals to validation, which equals your art being good. But then when they don't get the amount of likes or engagement, they start to get discouraged. To them, a lack of likes or engagement means their art isn't good enough, and sadly, some of them quit. Some quit social media but continue to work on their craft, but the saddest outcome is when they quit art altogether because of the lack of engagement on social media. And all because they let their ego get in the way and forget that practicing and creating art is a lifelong journey, and that someone out there is a lot better at it than you are. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, sit down, stay humble. Everyone starts somewhere, and it's important for a lot of us to just look back and see how far you've come. Remind yourself that you too sucked at some point. Alright, that is it for the yap session. I'll see you all in the next one.